Hello, how are you all? I hope you're doing well. So, I don't think it's a secret that I like Donald Trump and I'm a supporter of his. I was more than likely going to vote for him in the 2024 election, but I've always said, I like to wait and see what happens when it gets a little bit closer to election time. I think it's safe to say at this point, after the Iowa caucuses, that I am fully putting my support behind Donald Trump. That is who I'm voting for. That is who I will be supporting in 2024. And here is why. Why? Because whether you like him or not, whether you like how he says things or not, he was right about almost everything. We had a secure border under Donald Trump. We had the least amount of illegal border crossings than we have had in a long time, and it was on its way to get more secure. We have had record numbers of illegal immigrants coming into our country, and the Democrats' plan is to give them mass amnesty. Everyone that entered the border. And this affects everything. This affects social services, libraries, schools, police departments, fire departments, hospitals. It affects absolutely everything. The economy. The economy was booming under Donald Trump. People were working, they had jobs, they had money in the bank, groceries were cheap, gas was cheap. He's big on drilling here in the US. And here's the thing about energy under Donald Trump, which a lot of people don't know about. When America is energy independent, not only is our gas cheap, not only are we doing a huge justice here for our citizens in America, we're doing a major social justice for the entire world, because a lot of terrorism is funded by oil. And unfortunately, I know people want to move away from fossil fuels, but unfortunately, we are not equipped to do that anytime soon. And energy is what gets a lot of people out of poverty. We had no wars. We had historic peace in the Middle East. There were no wars. And that leads me to my next thing. The world leaders feared Trump and respected him. And I think that's probably one of the reasons why we didn't have so much chaos in the world under Trump that we do now. They respected him. They feared him. And that is very important. The Platinum Plan. Trump had something called the Platinum Plan. It's really interesting because we spent several years with, BLM, Black Lives Matter. That was a huge social justice movement with a lot of people for a while, and still is for many people. What I found ironic, though, is Trump actually had a plan to go into low-income inner city communities and give them funding and give them resources so that they can thrive in those communities. But right now, what you are seeing is you're seeing resources being taken from those very communities. Look at Chicago. Look at New York City. Look at Los Angeles, look at Denver, look at Atlanta. Resources are being taken from low-income areas and being given to people that just crossed over our border illegally. Here's an example of that. In Chicago, you have Chicagoans who have been waiting for years for Section 8 housing, and now people that just crossed over our borders, some of them are actually getting $9,000 for 6 months of rental assistance, when that could have gone to American citizens, homeless American citizens, or people waiting for Section 8 housing. So that's an example. Another thing that I think is really, really important is, and what I like about Trump, he can't be bought. The man cannot be bought. He is the only politician, I think, ever that had less money when he left office. The President of the United States gets paid $400,000 per year. Donald Trump, every single time he got paid, he took that and he gave it back to the government. He would write a check for $100,000, Parks and Rec, money over here. He never took a paycheck and probably lost his net worth. A problem with a lot of our politicians is they are all bought out. How are you a lifelong politician? Yes, you make a good, decent salary, but how are you a lifelong politician and a multimillionaire? That doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. The man cannot be bought. And here is one of my final thoughts about everything. Jamie Dimon brought this up earlier today, the CEO of JP Morgan. I think that we should be a little bit nicer to each other. I've never in my life have seen people just bash 75 million Americans the way they do. MAGAs, maggots, Trumpers, deplorables. What else can I come up with? Oh, all they care about is their Bible and their beer and their guns, and they just want to hold on to the Bible, beer, and guns. Grow up. I just listed you reasons why I'm voting for Donald Trump. And these are the same reasons that a lot of people are voting for Donald Trump. Why? Because he was right about a lot of things, and we were thriving. Not only were we thriving, the world was thriving. So that's why. So, grow up and be nice. 75 million Americans are not ignorant Trumpers. This is why. So, there you go. That's all I have to say about that for the time being, and I support Trump 2024. Bye.